Hey everybody, this is Amy Schrank with Terra Tribe, and I am a holistic coach and trainee and a wellness advocate. And I'm just really passionate about teaching others how to become their best self. I want to talk to you a little bit today about diets and whether they work or whether they don't work. And I thought what I would do is kind of go a little bit into my personal story surrounding this idea of dieting or deprivation, as I like to call it, and really how I've kind of worked through some of that and found balance and ultimately a happy and healthy weight for myself. So I'm going to share that with you today. So I hope that is inspiring for some of you, and maybe there's some lessons to be learned, and that I can help. If I can help one person kind of move forward in a different direction and initiate that change to make a healthy relationship with food, then hopefully that's, that will be done. I will feel good. So just kind of a little background for myself. I've never been a fad dieter. I've never done the Atkins diet or the South Beach diet or any kind of structured diet. And growing up for me, when I dieted, all I did was just deprive myself. So I'd go into these modes of starvation because, and I want to tell you a little bit about that and why I did that. So I think ultimately I thought I was struggling with my weight, but in hindsight, I think when I look at the feeling that I was really feeling, that it was a self-esteem issue. That also sometimes my lack of self-esteem stemmed from the dysfunction that was in my family. And so I felt like if I could achieve this standard of beauty that the media portrayed, which meant skinny and perfect, that I would be able to hide what was really happening behind closed doors, or that people might not see the things that I felt so embarrassed about when it came to my family. And so this became a real process for me. So I would deprive myself in order to lose weight so that I could achieve that standard of beauty that I thought was out there. And ironically, I was trying to hide this dysfunction. And in the process of trying to hide the dysfunction, I was actually creating a lot more dysfunction for myself personally. And while I was trying to increase my self-esteem and how I felt about myself and feel better about myself, I was actually feeling worse because I knew what I was doing was so unhealthy. I didn't feel good. I didn't have energy, those sorts of things. Or when I would, deprive myself for so long to the point that I would eventually fail and I would overeat, then I would feel awful as well. So none of this led to really feeling good or working for me. I continued that pattern for years. I can say at least probably a decade and a half. And then while I was in college, I did have the fortunate experience of working with a really awesome family. They were vegetarians, and they were just really committed to eating healthy, whole foods and to raising their children to eat that way as well. And the mom was just such a gift to me because when I would come to take care of the kids, she would always have prepared some fabulous vegetarian meal that just was amazing. And so I would eat these meals, and she literally, I think she prepared them just for me. So I would literally eat these meals and I didn't feel gross afterwards. I felt so good. I felt loved. There was a nourishment that happened within my mind and my body with these meals that slowly began a transformation for me. So I didn't really eat that way any other time other than when I was with them. And then when I got my first job, I ended up moving to California, and I was living in a little cabin by myself in the San Gabriel Mountains, and I worked teaching school in town. And this mom gave me 3 amazing cookbooks to take with me. And so I didn't really have any friends. I didn't really have a social life. I didn't have anything other to do than be in my cabin or hike in the woods that were near my house and cook and prepare food. And so I really learned to cook, and I learned to cook with love. And I learned to cook with these really just super thought out. I became a very conscious eater because I was following kind of these guidelines in the cookbook because that was all I had to go off of. But I experienced an internal transformation during that time that was super powerful. I stopped being obsessed with my weight. I just felt so good. And this ultimately was, I wasn't on a diet. I had this entire lifestyle change. And that ultimately is what healed me. Now I have an incredibly healthy relationship with food. I love food. I've been very passionate about teaching others how easy it is to cook whole food meals and to remove those processed foods from your diet, because they don't make us feel good. We feel sluggish. We feel we just don't feel our best. And it really affects then all these other areas of our lives, which, I don't think that I noticed in hindsight, but the more that I come in balance and the more that I become a conscious eater, the more I become a conscious liver. And I make choices with this reflection. I'm not just going with the flow. I'm really thinking through what's going to serve me best and what's going to bring me into balance. And so I think ultimately, I just, I want to share with you that I think that if you're someone who is stuck in this, on again, off again dieting phase, that maybe that's not the best answer. I think considering just kind of a lifestyle transformation can be, and that can be really, really hard. So what's beautiful is there's a lot of people out there that want to help you. They've been through it themselves before and they want to help you. I'm one of them. There's some great holistic coaches out there that can walk you through and hold your hand in this process of transforming your lifestyle, so that you can find this balance and feel like your best selves. That's what we're here to do. We've experienced that. We've gone from one place to another, and we want to take you from where you are to where you ideally want to be so that you could be your best self. So I love sharing ideas for holistic living and for how to kind of make these conscious choices. I have lots of recipes, whole food-based recipes that I share online. You can follow me on Facebook. Terra Tribe. You'll find Terra Tribe Essential Solutions on Facebook. You can also find Terra Tribe Essential Solutions on Instagram. You can find Terra Tribe Essential Solutions on Google+. You also can follow my blog, which is Terra Tribe Essential Solutions.wordpress.com. And you can find me, Amy Schrank, on LinkedIn. If you have any further questions or you want to just talk about this a little bit more, feel free to look me up. I'd love to do a discovery session with you and just kind of feel out, the relationship and see if that I can be of service to you and help you begin this transformation for yourselves. So I hope this was helpful to you today. I hope, it inspired someone to maybe begin that transformation of shifting from an unhealthy place in a relationship with food to a really healthy one, because food really can be such a healer in our lives. I'm so very passionate about that. I've experienced it firsthand. My children have experienced it firsthand. It is powerful, and it can begin the transformation. Starting with food can begin a transformation in so many other areas of your life. So that's it. Thanks for listening, and give me a shout out. Bye.